Greetings to His Royal Majesty, our Royal Highnesses, daddies and mummies, ladies and gentlemen, young adults and residents and indigenes and residents within Remo Federal Constituency. My name is Femi Akinwunmi. I hope to be a rep come 2019. This is the first of the various videos we will be broadcasting prior to 2019. Videos will be expressing solutions to various issues affecting the people within Remo and or interacting with various groups in order for more like fact-finding, so we could help develop solutions that would work. I was born in the 70s into the family of Chief Samuel Ade Akinwunmi, grandson of late Akarigbo Oyelumade, and Chief Mrs. Akinwunmi, granddaughter to Balogun Majekodunmi Somoye, the then Prince of Owu and Balogun of Egba Kingdom. I'm a product of public school from the Uniben Staff School. I moved to Great State Model Primary School, Isolo. Then I came back to Shagamu, to the prestigious Remo Secondary School. I went to University from there, now Olabisi Onabanjo University, from where I left at the third year to the University of Benin to study pharmacy. During my childhood years, my grandfather taught me to be aware of less privileged and took me along to assist in charity and community development activities. My experience growing up amongst various cultures became an integral part of the principle of fairness and equality that drives my daily passion to find ways to create an enabling environment for the people around me. After graduating from high school and some experience in GlaxoSmithKline, I decided to grow my wealth of experience in the United Kingdom. I championed the reform program for teenagers that advocated against drug misuse and was project lead for community advocate projects in my borough. I'm a renowned pharmacist, management consultant, a businessman, coach, philanthropist, and mentor. I have over 20 years experience in policy formulation, corporate governance, management, sales, marketing, communications, project management, pharmacy, strategy, mentoring, channel management, production, manufacturing, and a few other areas where I have helped contribute to the growth and development of the economy. Aside from various professional roles and contributions to Nigeria's economy, I have served in many voluntary capacities, including Director of Programs in Southern Youth League in 2008 to 2012, National Youth Vanguard, Christian Men's Fellowship, and a host of others. I led the campaign for establishment of a fully serviced open plan King's Market to ease rental burden on SMEs and skilled self-employed artisans. In my bid to develop Nigeria's SME sector, I invested in the only self-funded app project supporting business traction called Open Market. In 2014, I indicated interest to represent Remo Federal Constituency at the ongoing 8th National Assembly, but sacrificed the process to support the acclamation of President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's change vision. I have since supported various trade groups, unions, and farmers to access needed support in their various sectors and looking forward to offering quality leadership and representation in the 9th National Assembly come 2019. Following various consultation with various groups, trade unions, the elders, the royal fathers, we've narrowed our focus to 6 areas, and that's why my focus and agenda for the next 4 years when elected in 2019 will be education, trade, commerce, agriculture, health, infrastructure, and elderly. I will take them one after the other to just run through a few what we hope to do. First, I will start from trade and commerce. Remo is strategically positioned in Nigeria as a gateway hub, and I believe we should prosper. Like UK is prospering as a gateway hub to Europe and Japan is prospering as a gateway hub to Asia, I believe Remo should prosper and get a share of pocket of every transaction, humans or system that passes from Lagos to every part of Nigeria. There are 2 major areas we hope to focus on in the immediate. The multi-billion naira market created, established in Remo is wasting away, but we believe that 2 projects can open up that market and increase greatly the GDP of the region. One, we hope to set up an international park just by the market where people can come from various parts of Nigeria to trade and buy things and move back to their various destinations. The park will host transporters that haul people from various parts of Nigeria there, and smaller buses can haul passengers from Lagos back to the park. What that does to Remo is people from Shotubo, Gijo, Shagamu, Ikene, Ekperu, Ishara, Ekpe, and various Shonido can come to trade at this park. Gradually, every day, every passenger that passes through that park from every part of the country back to Lagos and Lagos back to the country, any part of the country gets to buy 1 or 2 things. Residents and indigenes will bring whatever they take back into the community to prosper themselves and better their sense of living. Secondly, we hope to create a dry sea port close to the park. Instead of going all the way to the north, to Kaduna, where you take 2 days for trucks to haul products there, I believe Shagamu is 45 minutes from Apapa Port, and we will be doing Lagos much good to decongest the trucks that line from Apapa all the way to Egba. Once you have a dry sea port there, you can have satellite monitoring. Once the containers dock, they hauled straight to the dry sea ports, and all checks, everything is monitored via satellite. You have escort, you have everything. Just 45 minutes. It's straight. It decongests the port, increases, it shortens turnaround time for release of containers, and increase productivity and increase revenue generation. And what that does for our immediate communities, every importer will definitely have offices within the dry sea ports. That means they will have offices within Remo from Shagamu and the surrounding towns. And that means commerce will increase because they will transact, they will buy things, they will go to the markets. It increases exchange of, it increases transactions and trade within Remo. Then all the regulatory authorities, NAFDAC, immigration, every one of them will have, that means they will need houses to stay, they will need services, they will need, they will go to the market, and that will greatly increase. Those are just 2 of the various projects we believe can drive trade into Remo and prosper the region greatly. I will go to healthcare. I believe that there are lots of NGOs where we could generate funds from to provide affordable or part-free healthcare to the indigenes and residents in Remo. There are sections like in Lagos State. We could create a section in the hospitals where residents can register the residents. Elderly kids can go to collect. Once you see a doctor, you can go to collect free medications. Because I think we're in 2018 and hopefully 2019, and I think people shouldn't be dying and from malaria, typhoid, cold, flu, and conditions that have access to free global free medicines, free medical attention. So that's part of what we hope to achieve, and we hope to equip all the primary healthcare centers, the dispensaries around Remo, and ensure that people have adequate healthcare. Education is key, and like it said, if you educate someone, you educate a whole nation. And hopefully after 2019, it's going to be a crime for any indigene of Remo not to attend secondary school, because secondary school education will be free within Remo. All the over 100 schools will be well equipped, will be properly funded. We have put structures in place to access funds where we could, it's going to be in 2 phases. We're going to access funds where we could renovate the schools. We're going to do a business case to justify why we need funds, and we're going to access global funds with which we could renovate secondary schools, provide teachers, improve on curriculum, and ensure that all parents need to do is advise and pray for their kids to go to secondary school. That was one legacy Baba Awolowo left, and I believe we can revive those days. It's done in Lagos now, and I don't see any reason why we can't replicate the same thing here in within Remo Federal Constituency. And we have planned to access private organizations where they could help supply books, paint schools, just to complement what we intend to do with funds from these global bodies. Then agriculture, we had a strategic session with the Akarigbo Council a few years back, and we realized that there are countries within Europe that are very small as Remo Federal Constituency, but exports over 70% of vegetables in Europe. And we asked ourselves, why can't we do the same here? One, we don't have the capacity. Two, we don't have the desire. Three, we don't have the passion. And four, we don't have the courage to focus on doing commercial agriculture. So what we've decided is, the 33 kingdoms within Remo, we've decided we identify areas where we have land, and we identify crops. We want to focus on 3 or 4 major cash crops that will, the project is going to be farm for export. What we intend to do, we intend to sit down again with the Akarigbo Council, the 33 obas within Remo, and decide on which areas, it's going to be a joint effort to decide which areas we want to use for cultivation, then which areas we want to use for processing, then which areas we want to use for packaging before we export. That is where the dry seaport will assist, because it helps quicken the process. We have arranged, and with Bank of Agriculture, Development Bank of Nigeria, that of Africa, and a few other banks, and they have agreed to partner with us. The project will involve the communities, which is represented by the Royal Highnesses, the people funding, then the owners of the land, because it's not just taken because the lands are owned by families. So what we intend to do is we seek for funds, we farm, we export. The revenue is going to be shared. From part goes to the owners of the land, parts go to the Royal Majesties to help develop various projects within their communities. Then the other one will go to funding the financing. Then the others will go to the party, of course, the party driving the process. We have developed the project, and we'll be discussing a few of these projects in various town hall meetings within Nigeria and to Remo indigenes in diaspora, as probably from May, where we will be having our international meetings. The first one is infrastructure. We have to strategy in funding infrastructure. We realized that infrastructure development has been delayed due to politicking, timeline in decision making, various issues, and we know the current government has tried, but we believe that if we use one of these two strategies, it will be faster, it will have more credibility, and people will have better quality of life. It will improve business operations within the constituency, and subsequently grow our economy. We're going to be using, we've spoken to some Nigerians in diaspora. We'll be speaking to Remo indigenes in the UK and Europe, meeting in London sometime in May. It comprises of Esoe, Remo, various secondary school old students associations within Remo that are in diaspora, various interest groups, and even investors that are not within Remo that would like to take advantage of the various platforms we are going to create. We have strategy to fund and develop over 300 roads in the first 4 years, and how do we want to do it? Crowdfunding is a process that's been used globally, and the way it will work is we're going to list all the roads, and it's going to be transparent. For example, we can take Obawulisi Road and decide That's our next project. So people from various parts of the world can donate from £100, £100, £1,000, and as they donate, the online, once they donate, the amount as it's credited, it's shown online. If the project is meant to be a 10 billion naira project, and people that are interested can support, once it gets hit 10 billion naira, it stops. Anybody that wants to donate will be told we've hit the threshold. Then they'll give options of other roads, maybe in Makun, in Ishara, in Iperu, in Shotubo. So, but if you do not want to, if you are not interested in funding projects there, you will give you various options. That's one of the areas. And the other areas we developed, there are some interest groups that actually are ready to fund development of some roads if they have the access and the support, if the enabling environment is created. A few of these groups we will be discussing with as we approach 2019, because it is very apparent that we need to let people know that some things are possible. Now, someone asked if we donate the money, how we will be sure someone won't just take all the money. Just like the crowdfunding process is transparent, the process of selection will be transparent too. Bids will be created. Suppliers and contractors will submit their profile online. People donating will go through the profile and vote for which of them. So basically, we now expect contractors to be calling various social groups to present and let them understand, present their profiles. So it's going to be an open selection process. It's not going to be mad with scandals. And we will be, as we tailor the program and the project and we tailor the processes, we will be speaking more. But this is more like just an introduction to reflect on the 6 areas. And the last area will be for the elderly. We will work with various religious groups to cater for the elderly, because we don't have strategic, we don't have at the moment precise funding models, but we believe that working with religious organizations will help us, one, access the elderly, two, cater for them effectively, and three, help them prepare, help them meet their various needs. Lastly, for the elderly, we also have a program where we'll work with various bodies, medical associations, and non-government health organizations willing to build elderly homes where we could provide foods, and elderly people can come Fridays to pick up items, discuss issues, do checkups. They will make the best use of our town halls too, where on Friday we could create probably music for them. And we also meet them at their, that was what I spoke earlier about, working with religious organizations, the churches, Methodist, Anglican, Muslims too, from their mosque, because it is very important as they get older, they need more care. And the medical associations, the medical organizations we hope to work with will create more employment by engaging domestic staffs, training them and helping, bringing Nigerians that have worked in public health care homes globally outside the country to come in to help train young ones, which will actually at the end create job employment. These are 6 areas we hope to work, and I assume someone asked at one of our meetings that how do we intend to achieve this? This cannot be achieved by one person, but I will hopefully be giving leadership and driving the process because we will work basically with the 3 House of Assembly members, with the 4 House of Assembly members, 2 from Shagamu, 1 from Remo North, and 1 from Ikenne local government. We will also be working with all the 3 local government chairmen. Why we will be working with 3 local government chairmen? Because The councillors are the ones closer to the people. We operate a flat structure where we could reach the grassroots, because the councillor will be the governor for his ward. The chairman will be the governor for his local government. The State House of Assembly will be the governor for his constituency, and will be the governor for his constituency, and while the governor will be the governor general for everybody to work with. This way, we are hoping the ward councillors will be close to, will work with the landlord associations and the resident associations within his ward. It helps him know what the issues are, water, lights, roads, and it helps pass information about what we intend to do and how those communities can support. That way we'll work better. And all the supervisors that work under local government we will relate directly with the commissioner. It's easier, so that whatever they do in the 3 local governments and we want to do with them, we'll carry the commissioner along. It's easier, so we can get things done. We can get approvals from state quicker. We can let them see, because the area, our focus is not to compete with state or any other constituency. On the contrary, our objective will be to be humble, to reach out to various groups, to appeal and appease various groups in order to move forward, because the more we engage in and create fiction, the less we do and the more the people suffer. I think if we move along these directions, we'll do more and the people will be will benefit more. And like I said, we are going to create, once we are elected, I'm going to create a coordinating committee that consists of all the 4 State House of Assembly members, the 3 local government chairmen, who will relate with the councillors and the supervisors, all the commissioners and nurses appointed within Remo, which will help seek the face of the governor in various areas where we will need. All the Remo traditional council representatives, which because we cannot lead the people or help the people if we don't understand what they actually need, and we do that through the royal fathers, through various interest groups. And after creating the coordinating committee, we will set up a committee for each of the 6 policies. We are going to have a committee for education, committee for trade and commerce, committee for agriculture, committee for health, and committee for infrastructure, committee for elderly. The committee will comprise of a chairman and a secretary and other board members. What is the role of these committee members? Our role is to generate funds for education, but the role of the committee members is, 1, to understand how many secondary schools do we have, what are their needs, what are their immediate needs, which infrastructure, teachers, curricular, library, books. So as we develop funds, the committee decides on prioritize and make sure they follow through execution of the plan and the agendas. Same for trade and commerce, same for agriculture. The Committee on Agriculture will have representatives of traditional rulers. We have, for example, we're speaking to a few people, Chief Wole Soyinka from Remo North Ishara, we're speaking to Chief Mrs. Wild, we're speaking to Otoba Eskenofo, Bashon Radisoya. Various, we'll select one of them as chairman of each of the committees. It depends on, we will be letting you know who finally takes up any of the roles, while as we go on. The roles, like we've discussed with them, they are happy, they are interested, they look forward to it, because their dream is Remo should change in their own lifetime. And with the new Akarigbo, a brilliant and great man, successful accountant, he has great vision to grow Remo into one of the most prosperous kingdoms in the world, not just in Africa or Nigeria. But it's not one person can do this. We all will do this together, but we need to work as a team. And the first thing is to understand and realize that we need to restructure our leadership. We need to restructure our focus. We need to restructure our area of interest, and we need to restructure our plan and our vision. I hope to do more with you. I believe this will be possible if you join us and we come together to dialogue, to discuss what will work for Remo, and to see how we all come in. Even with peers, with commitments, with advice, I believe everybody has a role to play, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.